I got ratioed on my newest video talking about old Minecraft textures that look better than the new ones. So I feel like I should elaborate on how the new textures could be changed to include the qualities that I think are better on the old ones. Starting off with the cactus here, the reason why I don't like this new one is basically purely because of the color. I'm not a huge fan of this light, unsaturated green color. If they made the green darker like this, I actually prefer the new texture. And some people might say that's not a big difference, but that's kind of the point. I don't hate the new textures, I just like some of the details on the old textures that make me prefer them. The reason why I liked the old dispenser texture better is because I feel like the face that was on the dispenser fit its function a lot better. In my opinion, this dispenser looks way too happy to be hurling projectiles at you like arrows. In fact, there already is a dropper item that has a happy face, which makes sense because it doesn't actually do any projectiles. Which is why I feel like an angrier face like this fits the dispenser much more. It looks more like a war-torn soldier that's actually going to shoot something at you instead of a calm, positive guy that's just going to hand you whatever item you have in there. And here's another example of that green color I don't really like on the mossy cobblestone here. Yes, I know that's the real color of moss, but this is a video game. It doesn't have to be realistic. So honestly, I would prefer if it had this darker color like this. And here we have the new diamond ore. I don't hate this texture by any means. I do like the more detailed gems inside. But the problem I have with it is for some reason, they added these extra pixels underneath the gems that make it look like the diamond is like melting into the stone. And the problem with this is diamond ore doesn't really stand out as much. So when you find it inside a cave, it doesn't really pop as much as the old ones did. And if I were to change it, I'd get rid of those pixels to make the diamonds pop out more. And here's another texture, the poppy. I prefer the rose texture just because I feel like that's just a nicer flower just in general. I'm not really a huge fan of this dark spot in the middle, which I mean, obviously poppies do have, but that's why I like the rose better. So if I were to change it, I'd make it so it had the color scheme of the rose previously. And here we have the cake. I just never really been a huge fan of the look of the toppings on this cake. I feel like when they added that big cherry or wrinkle in the middle, they kind of got rid of that iconic look of the old cake. So I feel like if they did something like this instead, they would have still kept the charm of the old cake texture while making it look more detailed. And then you got the iron blocks, and honestly, I don't really feel too strongly about either texture. It could really go either way. Now we have the snowball. A lot of people were flaming me for criticizing how it looked powdery, and that's probably because I could have worded it a little better. What I meant was I don't really like the dissolved gradient look that this snowball has, and also if it wasn't as blue, because for a snowball, this is pretty saturated in my opinion. So if it looked something a little bit more like this, not as dissolved, a lot more clumped together, and a little bit less saturated, I would prefer it a lot more. I don't hate the new textures by any means, but some of you guys need to calm down a little bit. Death threats over a Minecraft